Hello, Kingdom Hall.
Hi, I just have a quick question I was wondering if you could help me with.
Sure.
Well, what I had a question about was, what is actually like the faithful slave and the governing body? I mean, I studied with these witness ladies. It was a year or two ago.
Okay.
And just the one thing that kind of made me think or concerned me was kind of how they looked at them, you know? I was wondering, is that a common view among witnesses? Like, they almost viewed their authority like apostles or something like that, like prophets or speaking for God. Is that correct?
That would not be how I would express it. They are imperfect men, just like all of us.
Well, yeah, that's a different issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scripturally, Jesus used that expression in, I believe it was Matthew. I'd have to look it up as far as. But basically, the idea is any organization has to have organization, leadership, and you have to organize that leadership some way.
Yeah, I was asking in particular, well, many organizations have leadership, but don't seem to be looked at in kind of the way, they were explaining it to me. So it's not really an issue of leadership, like a company could have that.
Yeah.
I never heard any Protestant ministers say they were like speaking for God or use the term God's channel.
I mean, we definitely have used that expression.
Oh yeah, it's in writing. Yeah.
Yeah. What was your name, by the way?
Christine.
Christine.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I could get you some more information and a better explanation.
Well, I just kind of want to see what like the members think about it. I'm trying to see if that's a common view. That it's the only channel. They are the only channel, like those men.
Are you thinking? Let's see. How would I ask this? Within Jehovah's Witnesses, or is your perspective more in general in the world?
Yeah, in the world. According to what I kind of reading in their writings.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
I believe. How would I express this? I believe what I've learned and studied from the Bible, and what I've learned about Jehovah's Witnesses and the organization, that it is the truth. And so, how would I express this? There are certain truths, and if there's a difference of teaching, one has to be right and one has to be wrong. And what I've found with Jehovah's Witnesses is what I believe is the truth. Do others have knowledge of the Bible? Yes, definitely. But do I believe what they teach is fully the truth? I haven't found an organization or any other religion that teaches what I believe is the truth, besides Jehovah's Witnesses.
So, if they changed something, was it the truth at that time? Because that's how they present it, as God's channel, and they say it's not of human origin. So was it biblical before, when they make kind of major changes and things?
There have been changes.
Major.
Definitely.
Things that hurt people in their lives.
You obviously have some specific things in mind. Yeah, there have definitely been changes.
That hurt people too.
I guess like I said, you have something specific in mind. And I would
Do you think
believe
that's true? That some of their dictates that hurt people and rules and predictions and things like that?
That it
hurt people's lives. They commended people before 1975 for not seeking any career, for selling their homes and businesses. They said it was a great thing to do.
A lot of that depends on your perspective.
No, it's in writing, and I'm just reading.
Well, no, I mean as far as the hurt that causes.
Oh, or saying Jehovah doesn't approve of organ transplants or vaccines or blood fractions, but now he does. That hurt people. It hurt those children that were on the cover of the Awake magazine, the children that died that they were advertising on their magazine. Did you ever see that?
I'm not familiar with what you're describing.
It was an Awake magazine that talked about children that died refusing blood transfusion, as though they could really, do that. That's May 22nd, 1994.
94. Awake magazine, you said?
It's quite startling, actually.
Obviously, anytime children die, it's startling.
Especially that they could have blood fractions now when they couldn't at that time. Well, what I really wanted to get to, which I thought was really interesting too, was that in spite of all those things about, God's channel and Jehovah's mouthpiece, and no matter how much Bible reading you do, you can't get to the truth unless you're in connection with them, which they also say. Well, one of their leaders, this is really what brought this question on, was in a court in Australia, in the investigation into child sexual abuse. They investigated lots of different organizations, so the Jehovah's Witnesses was one of them. And he had sworn to tell the truth on the Bible, and the lawyer asked him if the governing body saw themselves as Jehovah God's spokespeople on earth. And he said it would be presumptuous to say that we're the only spokesperson God is using, which they claim all the time in talks and in their literature. So I was just wondering why he couldn't, testify to that, because wouldn't it be important for people to know that if you can't progress on the road to life unless you're in touch with them? And then he has this tremendous opportunity to share that, and he practically denies it, Did you see that?
No, I'm not familiar with the article or whatever you're referring to.
Yeah, it's on videos too. It's on the Australia Royal Commission website. His name is Jeffrey Jackson. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So they feel there's a summary that Australia investigators and lawyers and officials made, and they felt he was being deceptive.
Did you, like you said, I'm not familiar with the account or whatever. Did you have a question about it, or?
Yeah, why do they say it in the publications, and why do witnesses talk like that about them? But then he practically denies it, when he's in front of everybody.
Well,
and under oath.
I would definitely have to look into that report to know more about it before I would even venture why he answered the way he did. Yeah, it was very interesting. Because the person questioning him was really familiar with their published claims about being God's channel. Do you want the link to it? I can. Let me. There's a pen here.
And it was called Case Study 29. Because they have different ones, but you could probably find it.
All right, what do you got there?
Let's see. I am looking at a summary thing. Right now I'm just looking for it's just called, it says case studies. Actually, if you just Google Australia Royal Commission, you can probably find it. It's called childabuseroyalcommission.gov.au, and then it's under the one called Public Hearings and Case Studies. It's called Case 29, I think it was.
What was it, Public Hearings?
Yeah.
Number 29.
Let's see. Yeah, it's called Case Study 29. And actually, it's really interesting. You can see videos of them talking, like the Australia leaders and Jeffrey Jackson. And it's on YouTube at a channel called Jake Control. And that's spelled Jakke Control, 2 words. I don't know why it's called that. And that's all there is on that channel. It's just videos of the actual, you can see them talking and everything. It's really interesting. Are you new with the witnesses?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind of surprising most of them haven't heard it because it's been out in the news, and they have a news section on jw.org, but they don't mention it on there.
Okay. What was your name again?
Christine.
Christine? All right. Well, thank you.
Well, cool. Thanks for checking it out, and thanks for talking to me about it.
All right.
Okay. God bless you too.